Hi there. I listen to Professor Scott Galloway a lot, and a lot of the time he refers to his own success. And he mentions that his success is due to the agency of others. This prompted me to think about what does he mean by that, agency of others? And it led me to delve a little bit into what agency actually means. And this presentation or this chat is about agency. It's also contextualized within the Enneagram, which I'm such a supporter of. And it also touches on the concepts of Ubuntu and the Enneagram, agency, and Ubuntu in teams. So enjoy. And now I'm just going to switch over to screens. So first up, what is agency? Agency is the ability to act with conscious intention. And I think that's quite important. But it's not only conscious intention, but it's conscious intention in respect of one's own values, goals, and purpose. And generally, we find ourselves acting out of habit, either reacting to outside pressures, out of fear. Our organization tells us how to react, and even society governs how we act. So agency in our context is a powerful commitment to ourselves to act with intention within our goals, purpose, and values. A lot of you who've heard my stuff before know that I'm quite passionate about Simon Sinek's Golden Circle, which defines our purpose, which is our why, how we do stuff, which are our values, and what do we actually do, which can be our goals or our actions that we carry out in everyday life. So agency is very dependent on knowing your why, understanding your how, and then choosing your what. It calls us to agency. If you don't know your why, you don't know your choices. If you can't embody your values, then you're just reacting to stimulus from wherever it comes from. And you can't act authentically if your life is shaped more by habit or insecurity than by deliberate conscious intent. So if we're just reacting to life and we don't know our why, how, and what, how can we have agency over our own lives? The Enneagram acts as a mirror for us. Now, if you are not familiar with your own Enneagram type, hey, there's lots of space on my website to go and get your Enneagram type. But I'm going to assume for the rest of this presentation that you do know your Enneagram type. And if you don't, agency is still important. However, what we're doing here is we're holding up the Enneagram or your Enneagram type as a mirror for you to reflect on your own agency. So let's take, for example, the 1, okay, the strict perfectionist. The perfectionist tries to be good rather than free. They act from an internalized sense of right and wrong, driven by an inner critic that rarely rests. So agency for the 1 is lost when they choose what's correct over what's true for them. Hence, they are the strict perfectionist, okay? They want to be correct all the time, and that's not true to themselves, okay? Moving on to the 2, agency is lost when they sacrifice their own needs in exchange for validation. 3, agency is lost when they become what others admire instead of who they truly are. The 3, the achiever, the competitive achiever, strives for perfection or strives to achieve so they look good, okay, not for who they are. And so on. For the 4, agency is lost when they wait to feel ready or right before acting. Bit of the intense creative coming out in them, going internal to themselves before they actually act. The 5, similarly, agency is lost when they delay engagement in favor of preparation or certainty. And we all know this kind of person. Want to know the facts, want to know the details, get stuck in the detail without ever getting engaged in creating or moving forward. The skeptic loses agency when they outsource their decisions to authority or doubt themselves out of movement. So get penned in, being skeptical all the time, evaluating, no action. The 7, and here I just got to admit once again, this is me. I lose my agency when I react to avoid rather than choose to engage. My vice and virtue, gluttony and sobriety, not necessarily with alcohol, but it's because I react through my gluttony of wanting to be distracted all the time, wanting to jump to something new, that I lose my agency, rather than choosing to engage and diving deep into the subjects that I should be getting involved in. That caused me to lose my agency. The controller, agency is lost when their drive to protect leads them to dominate or disconnect. One of the major focuses of the 8 is they're wanting to control. Inherent in that control is they want to protect. And that's when they lose their agency, when they dominate and then lead to disconnection, not in touch with their own vulnerability. And the peacemaker avoids conflict. We know that, even when they need to be heard. So they lose agency when they forget to have a position, a passion, and a path of their own. They follow others. They're, okay, we'll do that, or okay, we'll do this, instead of following or sounding out their own position on something. The Enneagram mirror in terms of agency. And if you're interested in any of these slides, please reach out to me at coach@tondi.coach, and I can give you a copy of these slides should you wish. Right, now how do you get your agency back? You can use your Enneagram time as a path to that. So the 1 can practice self-compassion, okay? Recognize that good enough can still be meaningful and values-driven. The 2, the considerate helper, can pause and ask, what do I need right now? Instead of considering others before they consider themselves. They need to set boundaries, not as a rejection of others, but rather as a sense of gaining their own agency. The 3s can slow down and ask, is this aligned with my purpose or just my image? Am I chasing image or am I chasing my purpose? So rather embrace failure and vulnerability as being part of being authentic. The 4 can take small grounded actions even when emotions aren't ideal. Not trying to strive for that emotional idealization. Trust that your purpose can be found in the ordinary, not just in the profound. The 5, step into existence, okay, before fully understanding. You don't have to understand everything before you can start acting on it. Allow feelings and relationships to interrupt that need for solitude and understanding. The 6, notice the voice of fear. Internally, notice when you're getting fearful and choose action straight away. Strengthen your inner authority through reflection, not just reassurance. Back to myself, choose depth over distraction. And I can't tell you how much this has helped me. It's going deep instead of wide. And recognize that joy includes stillness. It's not about going out and experiencing the new thing. It's about going within and understanding the stillness that's required within myself. The 8s, it's all about vulnerability. Let others in. Act from centered strength, not from reactivity. Be considerate, act, protect, but do it from centered strength, and allow yourself to be vulnerable. The 9s, identify your own voice and get it out there, even if it means disrupting the harmony. Moment of reflection on that. Okay, so if you're in a team, okay, you can use your time as a tool to contribute to the team. So for the 1, invite others' viewpoints, okay? and expand their sense of right and allow for flexibility. For the 2, share your ideas and trust that you're valued for who you are, not just for what you give. For the 3, encourage authenticity over appearance. Once again, it's addressing that image, even in high-performing cultures, focusing in on shared success. For the 4, bringing emotional depth as strength to the team without withdrawing when unacknowledged. I'm sure we all know this person. When they contribute in a team meeting, they get ignored, they just withdraw. That's not what you want. Be the intense creative, contribute consistently. The 5, share your knowledge, even if it's not perfect, or even before it's not perfect. Engage with the team's emotional side and not just the data. The 6, speak up with confidence, not just questions. Don't be skeptical. Trust collaboration in the team rather than testing every risk factor. Allow hard conversations without escaping to humor or positivity, and follow through on commitments, not just ideate. Something I've learned along the way, it's about following through. Once again, going deep on the commitment, following through on that commitment, and having the hard conversations without humor or jumping out to humor or not having those hard conversations at all. 8, active controller, share your power, co-create the solutions, invite others to comment on your solutions. Soften to build trust, not just respect. And for the 9s, hold space for tension rather than smoothing it over. Be visible. Your presence matters more than you think. You are better. You are more valued than what you think. Say what it is that you need to say. I'm going to pause there for a moment. That's agency, how to get agency within yourself and within the team concept. I'm going to broaden this out a little bit more and talk a little bit more about the team. And now this next part of the discussion is more about the team type as opposed to the individual type. So please remember that each team is or has a dominant Enneagram type. Okay, and that is a mixture of energy and behavior arising from all of the team members. It's how the team thinks, feels, and acts under pressure, and where the team focus their attention. It also reveals the team's blind spots and strengths. So each team has a type, even though every person in that team may not be of that type, the team has a type. So once again, we're going to use the Enneagram as a mirror to the team and not the individuals in this case. You can think about it as this is the water we're all swimming in. You're a team. This is where you are. You're all in the same pool. It helps you understand the core motivation and default behaviors of the team, how decisions are made, conflict handled, and energy distributed. So for example, if you're a team type 3, that is the achiever. The team type 3 drives performance, has fast pace, high ambition, may overlook emotional dynamics, and tends to measure success externally. So that would be the type 3 team. Step 2, reflect on how your individual type shows up in the team. So if the type is a type 3, as we've just mentioned, think about me, a 7. How would I play a role in a type 3 team? Okay, so you need to be able to ask yourself, how does my type complement or challenge this team dynamic? Where might my gifts be underutilized or overexpressed here? Where do I need to lean in or step back? So if I understand my type and I understand the team type, it can help us work together, or can help me to be a better member of that team. So for example, and here's a separate example, type 9 and a type 3. Now remember, type 9 is the peacemaker, type 3 is that competitive achiever. What the type 9 brings to the team is an inner calm, presence, and harmony. They need to work at being more visible and proactive in fast-moving discussions. You can imagine a type 3 just wants to go out, achieve, get the success. As a type 9, what they do is they bring a bit of that harmony, bring about a discussion, and they themselves need to be a little bit more proactive. That makes them a much more effective team member. Step 3, honest dialogue around the team type impact. Use this to build psychological safety. What part of the team type do we all recognize? So now once again, we're standing back and we're looking at the team type and using the team type to generate discussion. What part feels limiting? So for example, our type 3 team, what part feels limiting? Well, we just want to go, 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 go. That might be limiting. What are we not thinking about? The 6 could be going, hey, what about, the skeptic role. What's being left unsaid or unaddressed? How does stress or change impact our team time? And there's some reflection points there. So as a group, as a team, they could be saying, where are we effective because of our type? So we might be effective over here. Where might our type be running the show? Oh, that's a blind spot. And what are we avoiding as a team? If there's no emotion in our team, oh, that could be a bit of a problem. Step 4, align on the intentional behaviors for collective agency. Longer sentence really means how do we get to intentional team agreements, okay? What values guide us beyond our reflexes? What values as a team do we have? What agreements do we need to balance the team energy? Every time we're going into a risky decision, maybe we need to talk to Bob over there, who's a 6, and get a bit of his skepticism or his risk averseness into the discussion. What support structures can help individual types bring their best? How do we structure our team interactions to ensure that we're getting the best from everybody? Some examples in front of us. Type 6 team, let's build trust through transparency and shared responsibility. If it's a type 7 team, let's slow down, reflect, and commit before moving on. Agency means choosing your contribution, not just reacting to the team. So on the left-hand side of the table, there is the type of the team, and on the right-hand side is the kind of contributions you as a team member should be thinking about to bring to the team. So if it's a type 1, flexibility, remember type 1, structured perfectionist, okay? Maybe we need some flexibility, curiosity, and play here. Jumping down to a 5. If we're a technical specialist team, maybe we need to bring a little bit of emotional presence into the conversation, get in touch with our own emotions, get in touch with each other's emotions, and ensure engagement. If we're a type 8, we need to think about a little bit more listening and collaboration in that team. Finally, remember, you are not your Enneagram type, and your team is not its Enneagram type. These are both starting points for awareness, not destinations for identity. The Enneagram helps you create awareness for yourself in everyday life, for yourself in the team, and if you understand your team Enneagram type, it also helps the team understand its approach to dealing with pressure, conflict, and success. So please remember that it's not your Enneagram type. I'm introducing a separate concept here in the next 2 or 3 slides. And that concept comes from a philosophy that is inherent in a lot of Africa. It comes from Africa, and is a concept that is being adopted more and more across South Africa, especially. And if you enjoy this part, I can talk about this forever, so no problem. And that is Ubuntu. Okay, I am because we are. Think about that for a moment. The spirit of Ubuntu is I am because we are. It's an African philosophy of collective humanity, where each person's well-being, value, and success is deeply connected to the strength and support of the team. So we're going to take Ubuntu, we're going to bring it into the team concept. Ubuntu emphasizes mutual respect, shared purpose, empathy, and collaboration, fostering a culture where individuals thrive through and with each other. Our team success is very important. My success will only come about if we as the team are successful. I am because we are. In the spirit of Ubuntu, your contribution, because of your Enneagram type, is highlighted in the table. I'm not going to go through every one because it's on the screen there. But you can think about it. If I'm a type 1, okay, the Ubuntu aligned contribution to the team can be integrity. It's taking ownership and having contribution to the team. If I'm a tense creative, a 4, I bring authenticity, driving the team forward with purpose and energy. Adaptability to meet the collective goals efficiently. Me as an enthusiastic visionary, I can bring optimism to the team, okay? And that's like a concentrated focus on lifting their spirits and inspiring creativity. Thinking about possibilities, opening up the team to alternative paths and ideas. That's what I can bring to a team in the spirit of Ubuntu, and the rest are on the screen there for you to have a look at. Each contribution is a form of service to the whole. Remember, I am because we are. So I'm contributing to the team, and through that contribution, it's a service to every other member of the team. When we bring the best of who we are to support the best in others, the whole becomes greater than the sum of the parts. And that's what we're really striving for as a team. Here are some reflections for your Enneagram within the context of the Ubuntu approach. And it's a commitment from you to the team. So the 1 I commit to bringing integrity and clarity to our team, while allowing space for imperfection, growth, and grace in myself and others. So if we jump to maybe the 5, I commit to offering my insights and presence fully, even when it feels uncomfortable, trusting that connection matters as much as understanding. A lot of the times towards the end of team workshops, this is the kind of commitment that we're looking from each individual on the team, their commitment to the team. One of the good takeaways from that is if we are missing a type from our team, we know the part that is missing, and we need to address that as a team. So let's go to the 7, for example. Myself, I commit to bringing energy, creativity, and possibility to the team while staying present with challenge and seeing things through. So while I'm bringing creativity, energy to the team, I have to remember I need to stay present. I need to go a little bit deeper and not just jump to the next thing. Now we can take a look at them all. I'm going to give you a moment to have a read of that. If you know your type, are you up to making this commitment to your team? And if you know somebody else on your team and you know their type, is this the kind of commitment that you want to see from them? That's it. I hope you enjoyed this. I enjoyed putting it together, that's for sure. If you need to know your type, please get hold of me. Email is coach@tomd.coach. And if you go to my platform, coaching@tomd.podia.com, there's a whole course on the Enneagram that you can get to, and I will be putting the link of this video up there as well. So enjoy.